Board Game Geek, here with Connor from Inside of Games. And we are going to look at Seven Souls.
How's it going, Steph?
It's going great. How's it going with you?
It's crazy. I've now been in the industry so long that I remember, Steph, pre-BGG.
This is true, yes.
Steph was
You've
what?
had a
This
lot
is
of great
completely
games over
random.
the years, so I'm excited to hear about Seven Souls because I actually haven't, don't know much about it yet. So
Oh,
tell
that's
me a little
awesome.
bit.
So I'm gonna bore everyone with a small story of when I first got into the industry and the first time I met Steph. And I don't remember a lot of stuff, but I met Steph because she was super sweet to me. And I was at Gen Con and I had my first release, which was Summit. And a whole bunch of media people come out of the woodworks asking for copies of the game, review copies. And I have no idea what to do. And Steph was probably the person who was actually organized. So she probably came on the Thursday and to talk to me about it. And I was just there being like, you know what? I don't know what to do. Everyone's asking. And she's like, okay, don't worry. Here's what you need to do. Here's what you should ask. Here are the questions you have. And it was just super, super sweet. She's like, this is what I do. This is the stuff I put out. And I was like, oh. So I always remembered it because she was just so kind. You were so kind. It was very sweet. But
Thank you.
anyways,
That's
we're not talking
amazing.
about
I
that whole
remember
Seven
it too.
Souls.
I totally remember it.
Okay, so yeah, so Seven Souls, I guess. Oh boy, my brain's melting now. I guess it would have been kickstarted last year, middle of the year last year, and it fulfilled earlier this year. With COVID time, I don't even know what month it is anymore, really. So I think it was earlier this year. And yeah, it's my first foray into a Lovecraftian universe. So being the elder gods, the investigators, all that kind of fun stuff. But I want to do a unique spin on it. So for our game, you are actually playing as the evil guys, as the ancient gods. So you will be vying for control over the poor humans, trying to use them to gather souls and power for you to kind of reign supreme over all the other elder gods. And yeah, that's out there. That's the beautiful board we can see up on screen. Reese Apwin is the artist. I just love what he did. It's gorgeous. We can't see the back of the board, but the back of the board is actually this artwork here, Dagon, which is just, yeah, again, the art I absolutely love. And depending on how we can either talk briefly about it. I don't know if we want to do any hands of it or whatnot. I'm very easy. I can teach it as
Oh
we play.
yeah.
It's
I
totally
mean,
up to you.
we have almost a full half hour, so whatever you feel
Perfect.
like to
And
show us the best possible life for Seven Souls.
sure. Well, you know what I usually do is, so if I put it into convention mode for a second, usually I just have it preset for players, and I just say, you know what, you're going to hate this, but we're just going to start playing, and nothing you do right away is detrimental to your game strategy. So just trust me. How many people are there with you, Steph?
Oh, it's just me on this side, but I believe Nikki is on that side controlling our hands for us.
Yes, I'm
Oh,
here.
crazy. Oh, holy smokes. I thought those were your hands. That's hilarious. Okay, so Steph, you don't have this in front of you either.
It's not in front of
No.
me. This is all Nikki
Wow.
all day.
Okay, so
This
Nick is
this
our
is
hands.
California.
Amazing.
And
This
that's
is Tennessee.
yeah.
Okay, this is going to be even trickier. I wonder if, okay, now as the game designer, I want to make this work. Okay, so
Right.
what we're going to basically do is I'll do a brief overview, and then we're going to put Nick to work, and she's going to work as our brains without us knowing what's going on. So basically, to give you a brief overview, looking at that board that everyone can see, is there are three locations in columns on the left through right. The Miskatonic University is on the left, and it has resource pools below it. So at the very top there, you have corruption cards. Right below, these hands are amazing. Vanna White, watch out. Right below that are
Look at
the
that.
souls, the yellow souls. On the opposite side of those tokens, they'll have values mostly of ones. Some of them will be twos, and a couple of them will be zeros. Okay, but those are unknown to the players during the game. And below that, there will be the power tokens. This is beautifully set up, by the way. Thank you for doing this. On the circles below those, there are numbers on the top of the circle and the bottom of the circle. That's for player count. So if you exactly, oh, she's so good. So the top there, that would be for 1 to 3 players. It says the number 8, and then below that is the number 14. That would be for 4 to 6 players. I don't care how you set it up. We'll just roll with it from here, but very well done. To the right of that, you are going to have the Watley Manor, and you're going to see the power, the corruption cards, the soul tokens. And then to the right of that, the ancient ruins, the old edifice on the hill, soul, power, and the corruption cards. Now, those are the three main resources in the game. The corruption cards, I've actually laid it out in front of me as well. But in those piles on the board, there are two types of corruption cards. Oh, I got to look at Blair. There are single successes and double successes, and that's what's in those stacks there. So she's done an amazing job. That's right. So you will be collecting these knowing that when you gather them on the board, you're only getting single and double successes. That's going to help you. Whoa, holy smokes. Okay. She's like an elder god. My brain melted a little bit. That's amazing. Okay, so those will be successes. Those will be going into your deck, and you'll be using your corruption deck to try to control the other humans, maybe fighting with some elder gods or trying to corrupt the investigators. On the top left of the board, you can see the Cthulhu, and those are the failures. So those guys there will be in your deck to start, and they will be used basically to hinder opponents. So you can put them into their deck to make their deck worse as you're playing. Yeah, they're there. That's beautiful artwork. So those are basically a failure. So when you're flipping cards, hoping for the successes, if they have the eyeball on them, those are a single or double success, depending on how many eyes. If it's one of the Cthulhus, it's going to be a failure. We will be using investigate. Sorry, I lied. We'll be using our different cult members and placing them. I'm pointing at the board, like you can see the board now. I'm losing my mind. Like you can see them at the different places. So we've laid them out there. That's right. So there are 7 different characters. There we have the corrupt citizen and the acolyte. There we go. And the oh, I'm losing. Yeah, I can't keep up with it. She's amazing. Anyway, so we can see that they're all different characters. And on the sides of those characters, actually, you can sort of see is there are different icons, and those icons have different outlines on them. So that's perfect. If we look at the card roughly in the middle, the number 1 card, we can see that there are 5 different icons. And those icons are surrounded in squiggly lines. The squiggly lines just represent an action. So when you are resolving that card, you'll be able to choose one of those actions. In this case, usually getting a single resource. Whereas if we were to play the number 4 card, for example, onto the board, we'll see that it is actually one squiggly line, and inside of that, a squiggly box, I should say, there are 3 icons. So you would actually be getting all 3 of those. You'd be getting 1 power, 1 soul token, and 1 of the corruption cards. As the numbers get further and further, and the order with which they resolve get later and later in turn order, you're getting more stuff, which is better, but also you're going later in turn order, which isn't always good, as everybody knows. So, very simply put, I'll keep talking for a little bit, but I'll see if Nick, wants to flip over 3 of the packets of character cards, Nick, and we'll have 1 be you, 1 be me, and 1 be Steph. So pick whatever 3 packages you want here, and then we'll just randomly play them as we're going. So what's going to happen is once we have those packs, is we will be simultaneously assigning a character to each of the 3 locations. So that means 3 of our 7 cards will be placed out. Once those cards have been placed out, we will flip them over one at a time and resolve the different locations. So what's happening is, as the Elder Gods, we've sent our guys into these locations to try to gather supplies. What can happen, especially at the higher player counts, is we might actually choose to be sending literally the same character to the same location, at which point we're going to have to fight over the mental control of that character. If we maintain control, then we're actually able to gather some supplies. If we lose control, our corruption deck will grow stronger, which you'll see, but we'll actually have to wait and we won't get supplies right away, so you'll see. So there we go. So we're getting everything prepped, which is beautiful. Actually, you know what? We'll leave this for the first round. We won't use these right away. So, and Nick, with the 3 different colors that you've chosen, with the 3 different player colors, so I don't know what you've chosen, but that's fine. Just randomly, because you can't play all of us. So that's the ones with these, with those backs there. So choose 1 from the 3 different colors and put them at 1 in each at the 3 different locations. While she's doing that, I will explain the corruption decks again a little bit better. So the corruption cards are these ones here with the purple backs on them. And again, they are going to be single successes, double successes, or failures. Now, at the start of the game, each of us will have a hand made up of 4 of these failure cards. Sorry with that glare. And 1 success card. So we only have a 20% success rate. We all know that, and we all have that at the start of the game. We'll just simply shuffle those up, and that will be our hand for the game. Now, at any point in the game, players are always allowed to reference their deck. It's not a memory game. You can always look and check what your odds of winning are. But once you look, you just have to reshuffle your cards. So we'll all have those put to the side. We also start the game with 1 power, as Nick has already laid out for us. and that is used to bolster up your resolve. Now, unfortunately, it only adds to successes. It won't add to failures. So using it at the right time when your deck is kind of strong enough can be the advantage for a win, or maybe if it's used improperly, it could be a loss. So that's going to be it as well. Now, Nick, I'm just looking, have you already put 3 cards at each of the location, one of the 3 different places, or 3 different suits?
Yes. Here?
Okay, perfect. That's right, yes. So if you go to the top left first, the Miskatonic University, we will show me those 3 cards and keep them in the order with which you played them down. I see you've only played 1 card. Sorry. Play 1 from each of the 3 different suits that you have.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
No worries. You're doing amazing for Vanna White, considering I'm boss. Yeah, so pick one of those. I guess we'll use one of the Elder Signs. We'll use
one of these.
So we're using red, purple. No, sorry. The ones with those ones. So you already have one of those backs in there.
Yeah.
There's also the eyeball backs. So we'll take one of the eyeball ones. And
Okay.
We'll put it on top of the squiggly one.
Got it.
There you go. And then what's the third one? That's orange. So we'll take one of the Elder Signs or branches. Exactly. We'll put it on top. Oh, on the left as well. The left pile as well. So you're going to want one of each of those card backs in each of the 3 piles. Yeah, dynamite.
Yeah.
Okay, that's glorious. So, Steph, I'll be a gentleman. I'll let you decide first. Which of those 3 icons do we want to pretend was your play?
Oh, I am always red. So
Red.
I'll be
Okay,
the little
you're gonna be red.
squiggly.
And then, Nick, what would you like to pick?
I'll just be the middle, so purple, yeah.
Purple. Okay, and that means I am orange. Okay, perfect. So, take the first 3 cards in the top left and at the Miskatonic University and just flip them over as a bunch like that. So if my eyeballs are good, that looks like we have a number 2, a number 6, and a number 5. So what you would do is the order with which the cards are played in real time affects the order that they can resolve. In this case, we have no tie, so it's not as stressful. So simply that number 2 at the back of the pack will come to the front of the pack as it will resolve before the other ones. So the number 2 would go first, then it will be the number 5 and the number 6. So that number 2, I can't see what color it was. What's the color on the top left of that card, Nick?
The orange?
That's orange, so that was me. So that means my number 2 card is there, and I have 3 different options. I can gain a soul token or 2 cards. Now, for fun, because I have the game in front of me and I can cheat, I am going to take 2 cards from the deck, and I am going to shuffle them into that corruption deck that we all started with. So in my case, I would look at the 2 cards that I drew. No one else would see this, knowing that I've got a single success and a double success, exactly. And those would get 2 of them would get taken, and they'd get shuffled into my deck. And then I'd shuffle that up at the table, knowing that now my chance of a success when attacking each other or investigators has just gone up drastically. So I've put that in there, and I've made my choice. Next up is the character in the middle. Again, I'm not sure what color it is.
That
I think
is
it's mine.
red, yes.
Yeah.
Red. Okay, perfect. So, Steph, you basically chose your Dark Cardinal, and he's going to allow you to just straight up gain 3 of those corruption cards. So now you've made your resolve deck very strong. So that's excellent.
Little
Perfect.
did you know.
That is yours, exactly. And so now, next, we have Nick's turn, and it looks like she's got the Acolyte, which is the number 6. And on that card, she gets to take 2... Oh, she's so good! She takes 2 power from the bottom of the board, and she's doing it right. She's taking from the column directly below the location, which is perfect. On top of that, the final icon on her card means that she gets to steal a power either from Steph or from I. It's totally up to her. She's totally going to steal from me. Everybody
Well,
knows.
clearly you.
Okay, perfect. So she stole it from me. So that location is already resolved. We're going to rinse and repeat. Now we go to the second location. The 3 cards that were placed there, we're going to flip those cards over, and we're going to see what they are. Oh boy, that looks like we might have a fight.
That's
going
a
on.
7 and 2 3s.
And you kept them in the right order, so very well done. So what are the colors of the 2 3s?
That is a orange and red.
Orange and red. So I think that's Steph and I fighting, right?
Yes.
Perfect. Okay. So which card is in front?
Oranges.
Oranges. Okay, perfect. So that means that I was, in this case, faster getting to the location. I got my card down. So I have a slight advantage. Steph has to decide first if she's going to add power to her attack. Now I'll explain how it works before she does that. Basically, we're each going to get to flip only one card from our resolve deck. And I'll shuffle mine up again on screen so no one thinks I've cheated. And we'll let Nick do Steph's for her. But basically, we're each going to flip one card. If we have an equal amount of successes, we've tied and we will both take our turn. If one of us beats the other person by having more successes, the winner will get their turn and the loser won't. However, the loser gets the winner's card, and the winner's card goes away and the loser's losing card goes away. So what ends up happening is the winner actually gets weaker throughout the game, whereas the loser gets stronger, so they have a better comeback. They come back and hurt you later. So knowing that, Steph, and knowing that you've already put 3 cards into your deck, would you like to add 0, 1, or 2 power to your flip? 1 power. All right, Steph's adding 1 power to her flip. So she would simply take one of the blue tokens and just kind of slide it forward to show that
blue
she's using
token?
it.
Okay.
Exactly. And that token will actually get discarded right out of the game after it's been used. So, and I will not use power just for fun. So, and I'm going to flip my card.
So you don't have any power.
Nick. 1, 2. Oh, that's right. My power was stolen. I'm going to get rid of the one. I had. 1, 2, 3, flip. Okay, so I got a failure. Oh, okay. So, and Steph got a success. So Steph has beaten me 2 because her success is 1 and her power makes it a 2, and I have a 0. My failure will actually get discarded out of the game, and I will pretend to take that success off the board, and that success of Steph's will actually get, oh, look at that, right to the computer, got given to me, and that now gets shuffled into my deck. Okay, so again, my deck's gotten stronger, Steph's deck's gotten weaker, but I've now lost my turn. So Steph gets to go first, and she gets to resolve her number 3 character. Now, the number 3 character gives her 2 options. She can either get 2 power, or take 1 soul token at random and give a failure to somebody. So, Steph, what would you like to do?
2 power.
2 power?
Right, so she gets 2 of the blue power, and she gets to add those to her supply. Exactly.
Yeah.
And now Nick's up yet, and it looks like Nick is the corrupt citizen.
Well, actually, I should have lost the one I used, right? So I should only have
correct.
2.
Right.
That's right.
Does that go
Out
back?
Out of the game, you said.
Out.
And it doesn't go back on the board yet, right out of the game. Exactly. Everything you, so it makes the cleanup process very easy, which is wonderful. All right, so Nick is the number 7 corrupt citizen. Again, she only has 1 action, but it's a big one. She's going to get a power and 2 soul tokens. We won't know the value, she will. And she gets to give a failure to someone. Can anyone guess who's getting the failure?
No, it's not going to be you, because now Steph's doing really well. I got to hurt everybody.
That's right. I like
that's
Nick
not fair.
more already.
He's played.
Okay,
I deserve
perfect.
it.
So that second location is now finished, and we are going to go over to the far right location. We're going to take those cards, keep them in order. Exactly, well done. And now we're going to organize those for the order which they resolve from lowest to highest. With the lowest
1 and 1.
Okay.
Orange and purple, and red is 2.
Ooh. Oh, wow, those are tight. Okay, so orange and purple, so it's me and Nick fighting this time. Okay, so orange was first. That means I was lucky and I was first. So, Nick, you have to decide first. Do you want to use power or not for this check?
I've got power, so I will use it. I'll use 1.
You can use 0, 1, or 2.
Okay, I will use 1.
Okay, you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly look at my deck. Well, I don't have power, so I have nothing to think about right now. So I'll shuffle my deck up. Oh, get out of here, Steph. I saw that. Okay, so here we go. All right, and we're going to flip. 1, 2, 3, flip. Oh, come on. Yes. Okay, perfect. So this is actually good for both of us. So we've both gotten to get rid of a failure from our deck. Those are both discarded out of the game, or back on top of the failure stack on the left if you want. It's totally up to you.
Okay.
And you will have to throw out that power you used, because power does not power up a failure. So it's just a lost power. But we'll both take our turn, which is great. So I will go first. And because it's round 1, we can't use the bottom action. The bottom action is to corrupt an investigator. Now, just to keep things fast in case... Oh, no, we'll have enough time. We'll be all right. So, yeah, I'm not going to do option 1. So instead, I am going to simply, you know what, I'm going to take a power, just because I have none. I feel the girl's going to beat me up soon. So I'm going to reach in there magically. I'm going to take a power out of the pool in the bottom right, out of the church, the old church. There he is, and Nick's going to pass it to me through the
power.
computer again. And she's magic, and there it is. I got my power, and I put it in. That was perfect. So there we go. All right, so that was my move. And now, Nick, what would you like to do? You can either take a power or a soul token, which is victory points, or one resolve card. You can give a failure card. You can't do the bottom option, the green.
Okay. A resolve card.
A resolve card. So she gets to peek at her card. No one sees it. And then she gets to shuffle it into her deck to make her deck stronger. They will always be good. There will never be any failures in those decks of cards. So she knows it's making it better. All right, so now the 3 different locations have all resolved. The investigators get a chance to attack. So at the very top right of the board, you can see a deck of cards. It's kind of a bright white circle here. And on that is a key icon. That key relates to the manor, because ghosted on the board, kind of hard to see, is a key that's in the moon, actually, above the middle location. So right there, you can see that key. So that means that that location will be attacking at the end of this round. Now, if you look at the investigator above the location, we can see that he also has a code in the top right of his card. So I will grab it, and it looks like it is similar to... Oh, there we go. Perfect. Thank you for doing that. So on that card in the top right, it shows us who he's targeting. It shows that in the layout of cards, he is going to target who's ever in the middle of the pack.
Middle.
So in this case, what were the 3 cards in the middle again? They were numbers. What were the numbers again?
733.
So this is interesting. So there actually technically isn't a middle one this time, because the 3s are the bottom, the 7 is the top. There is no middle section. Let's say for fun that the front one was actually a number 1, and there's a 3 and a 7. Well, the number 3 would be getting attacked because they're in the middle of the deck. And just for fun, I'm going to pretend that I was that number 3. So that, there we go, perfect. So I was the number 3, so now I'm being targeted by the investigator at the end of the round. Also on that investigator's card, there's information in the bottom left. And that information shows you, you're so fast, shows you what he's going to be doing. So he's going to attack me 1 time, and he wants to steal back a yellow soul token and give me a failure card. Now I have 1 card to flip to defend myself, and I can also use power to upgrade it. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to use my 1 power that I have, and I'm going to use 1 card from my deck. I'm going to flip it. Oh, come on. Okay, this is going horribly for me. So I flipped over another failure, which means my deck has got to be really good by now because I've gotten rid of 3 of them. But I've lost that failure and that power. So that investigator attacked me. He got some stuff back. I'm going to have to go into my own stash of cards and give him what he wants. Now, he wants a soul token. I don't have any, so I can give him something I do have, either the top card from my deck or the power. And actually, I use that power, so that power should be gone. So I'll give him the top card from my deck. And that top card just goes on above the investigator, so it'll be captured when he's captured.
Regardless of what it ends up being.
That's right. So no one else would know what that card was. So it would just be at the top of the board, and don't worry about it. It's fine. It could just... Oh, there you go. Thank you. And he also gives me a failure card. So, on the top left, that double success shouldn't be there. We'll just hide that one and put one of the Cthulhu. So no, you're good with that guy. On the top left of the board, there's the really bright card with 2 purple eyeballs on it.
This?
So to your left, that one. Get rid of that. There should only be those guys in that pile. So he actually gives me one of those. That's right, and it gets shuffled into my deck. Don't worry about the rest of it for now. It's fine.
Okay.
So that guy's there. So now he's attacked me at the end of the round. Now, to start a new round, all of the investigators in those locations will be taken off of the board, and they will go to rest for the next round. You will not have access to them. So we will be drawing from... sorry, those guys stay. I said investigators, but I lied to you. Oh, look at that. And there's actual investigators underneath. That's cute. So on the actual locations, our cultists all come off the board. Exactly, all 3 from every location. And those will normally be sorted and given out at the end of the next round. So going into round 2, we now have to place one of our 4 remaining investigators at each of the 3 locations. But before we do that, we'll take the top card of the investigator stack, that's in the top right of the board, the one with the key on the back of it. And that key card will actually get placed at the bottom of the deck. So we have the key cards, exactly that guy there. It goes to the bottom, and that signifies the new location being targeted, which happens to be a key again. So the manor will trigger again. Now going into this round, all players know, okay, the manor's attacking. And looking at the manor, we can see that investigator is targeting the middle. So it's going to influence players. Well, maybe I try to avoid the middle. Maybe I play a high card or a low card. But if everyone thinks the same way, then there's more likely going to be a fight about it. So be really careful about how you play. It's a lot of mental mind games about who's going to do what to who and where. Now, I know we only have a couple minutes left, so we'll just leave that there for now. And I'll quickly touch base on a couple of the other things on the board while I have the Vanna White hands. So on the bottom left and right of the sides of the board, there are also altars, exactly. And those altars are player count dependent. Now, they will be worth victory points at the end of the game. So for example, this one is worth, it costs you 8 power, but it will make you 8 victory points. And it's in a 1 to 6 player game. Exactly, well done. So that one's there. During the game, if you had the power, you could spend it. You would get that card into your stash for those extra victory points, but you'd have to send one of your characters to that location, and it would actually have to go where that altar came from, and you'd be down a character for the rest of the game. So you don't want to do it too early, because it could be very painful. You're only allowed 1 altar. Now at the very bottom of the board, there are blessings. Those are the 3 kind of goopy looking things, exactly. There are 6 in the game, and you'll shuffle them out, and you'll put them out onto the board, but there's only ever 3 available. And those will basically, again, give you end game scoring points for different reasons. So for example, I think this is the same one as that says that if once you have 10 power in front of you, you automatically win this card, giving you, there you go, 4 extra victory points. So again, something that you're going to be kind of aiming for throughout the game, to try to steal these things and win them before someone else does. The last thing, and actually my favorite part of the game, are the revelation cards. And these are the purple triangle back cards. These were a stretch goal of the Kickstarter campaign, and it meant that we could have beautiful individual art for every single card, all Lovecraftian themed. And Reese did an absolutely amazing job on these cards. And at the start of the game, all
you got some compliments about the art.
And these, isn't it beautiful?
Yeah, it's awesome.
It's amazing. So each player will be dealt 2 of these cards. And these cards, and that's a perfect example, because you can see that there are icons on the bottom right of each card. The icons with the arrows going in means you want to have the least of that thing at the end of the game. So in the case of the card with the 3 on it, you want the least amount of power at the end of the game, and you'll have 3 victory points. Or the card on the right says if you have the most amount of power at the end of the game, you get a bonus 6 points by holding on to that power. So again, at the very beginning of the game, you would normally be dealt 2 of these cards. You would look at them, you would keep one face down in front of you, and you return the other. Now it kind of gives you your hidden objective of a goal for the game, for something you want to aim for. And there's a whole bunch of different ones that let you affect the altars, or maybe a fear. So it might even mean that you're actually feeding yourself failure cards throughout the game, because you have the one that you win for having failures, or maybe you've tricked people into thinking you have the one that has failures. So again, just more of those kind of mental mind games to mess with each other. It was supposed to release at Origins this year, so that didn't happen. It is available online on InsideUpGames.com. And it's available in retail stores as well. So support your friendly local game store. If you can, order from them, pick it up, show them some love in these crazy times. And if they don't have it, tell them to bring it in. And if they don't bring it in, then order it from us online, and we'll get it to you. We have copies of it all over the world, and I'm, as you can tell, really excited about it. There's a minute left in case I want to let Steph say anything at all.
Yeah, you did a great job. I basically know how to play the game. I'm ready to go. Like, let's go. So I'm really excited for this. I'm glad it's available and people can start buying it, playing it. The art is amazing. So thank you very much, Connor, for joining us Inside Up Games. It's been a pleasure. I'm very excited.
Awesome. And if anyone wants to check it out, I should have mentioned this as well. We have events during Gen Con. A lot of them are sold out, so we've added extras. But if you want to play, it's on Tabletopia. It's free to play, as are some of our other games like Gorus Maximus and Sea Change, and our newest one, City Builder. So check them all out and play them if you can.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Connor.
Thanks, Steph, and thanks, Nick. Your hands are amazing.
You're welcome. Thank you.